Hello everybody, thank you for joining me, and it's my honour to guide you through the sacred pages of the Talmud. For over a century, so much. On this channel we'll delve into the profound depths of the Daf Yomi, that beautiful cycle of daily learning that connects Jews across the world. Each day we'll open a new page, seeking to understand its core arguments, its intricate legal rulings, and the timeless moral lessons woven into its fabric. I will share with you the insights of the Rishonim and the Chavonim, the giants of Jewish thought, and with the help of the magnificent commentaries of Rav Eiden Steinsaltz, we will navigate the Gemara's often circuitous path with clarity and purpose. Today we turn to Masechet Menachot Daf 82a. The page before us is a fascinating study in the precise laws of offering, specifically delving into the question of how a person may fulfill his sacrificial obligation. Our discussion focuses on a fundamental principle, the source of funds for a sacrifice. The Gemara here grapples with the question of whether one can use money from Maser Sheni, the second tithe, which is sanctified and must be eaten in Jerusalem, or to purchase a sacrifice. The central argument of the Daf revolves around the Braita, which is an external teaching that states one cannot use money for an obligatory sacrifice. The Gemara then seeks to understand the source of this all. It's a classic Talmudic exercise, finding the scriptural basis for halachic principles. The Gemara derives this law from a careful analysis of the verses regarding the korban pesach, the Passover offering. It establishes a gezeva shava, a verbal analogy between the term cattle used for the korban pesach and the term cattle used for a peace offering, a korban shlomim. By this chain of logic, it is shown that just as the korban pesach must be purchased with personal non-sanctified funds, so too must all obligatory sacrifices. A voluntary peace offering, however, can indeed be purchased with Maser Sheni money. As the Gemara itself proves, this is because the korban pesach and obligatory offering share a common characteristic. They are commanded, not purely voluntary. The Torah's consideration for the owner's money, a recurring theme in the Gemara, is cited as the reason for this distinction. The Daf then delves into the specific case of the korban toda, the thanksgiving offering. This is a fascinating hybrid. It's a voluntary offering, but it carries with it a compulsory obligation to bring 40 loaves of bread. The Gemara considers a case where a person vows to bring a toda, but not the accompanying loaves. We learn that because loaves are an inseparable component of the toda, he is compelled to bring them. The Gemara discusses different interpretations of a verse in Tehillim Psalms to understand the nature of this compulsion, highlighting the intricate relationship between the primary obligation and secondary components. And so we see in this daf a beautiful tapestry of legal reasoning, where the sages meticulously analyze verses, drawing logical principles that govern the sacred service of the temple. It is a testament of the Torah's precision and the profound wisdom of our sages who ensured that even the most minute details of our worship were rooted in a divine decree. Okay, so let's dive straight in. And the halacha that a peace offering may be bought from second tithe money is derived by a verbal analogy between there and there from the verse discussing second tithe. The verse states with regard to a peace offering, and you shall sacrifice peace offerings, and you shall eat them, Deuteronomy 27:7. And the verse states with regard to second tithe, and you shall eat before the Lord your God in the place that he shall choose to cause his name to dwell in, Deuteronomy 14:23. And from this, it may be concluded, just as peace offerings are themselves bought from second tithe, as they are not produce, so too with regard to the loaves of a thanks offering, they are not themselves bought from second tithe. And that wheat from which is purchased with second tithe money is also not itself second tithe. It may therefore be used for the loaves of the thanks offering. Now I will say my reasoning for why one may not prepare the loaves of a thanks offering with wheat that was purchased with second tithe money. From where do I derive the halacha that a thanks offering may be bought from second tithe money? I derive from the halachot of a peace offering, and the halacha that a peace offering may be bought from second tithe money derived by a verbal analogy between there and there from second tithe. Therefore, just as the peace offering is not of the same species as second tithe, so too the loaves of a thanks offering may not be of the same species as second tithe. This says to exclude wheat purchased with second tithe money, which is of the same species as second tithe. Rabbi Ami says, in a case involving one who designates second tithe money for a peace offering, in the case of one who designates second tithe money for a peace offering, the designation does not take effect. This is because the sanctity of peace offerings cannot take effect upon items that have the sanctity of the second tithe, and the tithe is property belonging to the Most High, in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Elazar. And that's in the Rambam Sefer Devarim, Hilchot Maser Sheni 7:19. The money does not assume the state of a peace offering. What is the reason? The reason is that the sanctity of the peace offering is not strong enough to take effect upon items that have the sanctity of a second tithe. second tithe. The Gemara raised an objection from Mishnah Master Sheni 1:4. Ideally, one should use second tithe money to purchase peace offerings. If one purchases a peace offering with second tithe money, only the flesh of the animal is consecrated, while its hide is non-sacred. The Mishnah teaches with regard to one who uses second tithe money in an improper manner and purchases an undomesticated animal for peace offering, a purpose for which an undomesticated animal cannot be used, or purchases a domesticated animal for meat and desire. What does that mean? In the case of one who uses second tithe money to purchase an undomesticated animal for a peace offering, or a domesticated animal for ordinary meat, consider as though he purchased an ox for ploughing rather than a peace offering, or an animal for ordinary meat, according to the opinion of Rav. The Rambam Sefer Zerayim Hilchot Maaseh Sheni 7:18, i.e. ordinary meat. The sages penalized him and decreed that the hide does not become sacred. The Gemara asks, is that not to say that the hide of the animal purchased with second tithe money assumes the status of a peace offering, and it must be sold, and the money used to purchase a peace offering in contradiction to the statement of Rabbi Ami? The Gemara rejects this. Wasn't it stated concerning that Mishnah that Rav said the hide of the animal purchased with second tithe money does not assume the status of a peace offering? And what is the meaning of the Mishnah that the hide does not become non-sacred? This is what the Mishnah is saying. The hide, as part of an undomesticated animal, is not in the category of a peace offering at all, so its hide would become non-sacred. So what does that mean? Rashi has two ways to understand this. One is that since a purchase was improper, the second tithe money was not desacralized at all, neither with regard to the meat nor with regard to the hide. It is as though he purchased an ox for ploughing, in which case the tithe is not desacralized at all. Alternatively, the tithe was redeemed by purchasing the animal and its hide, but only the sanctity of the second tithe takes effect with regard to them, not the sanctity of a peace offering. The hide is not rendered non-sacred since it was purchased improperly, and that's from the Olet Shlomo. What's the reason? Rabbi says, since he uses second tithe money in an improper manner, it's considered as if he purchased an ox for ploughing, to which no sanctity of second tithe applies. It was stated that there is an Amorite dispute with regard to one who designates second tithe money for a peace offering. Rabbi Yochanan says the money assumes the status of a peace offering, and Rabbi Elazar says the money does not assume the status of a peace offering. The Gemara elaborates, and according to the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda, who said second tithe money is non-sacred property, everyone agrees that the money assumes the status of a peace offering. When they disagree, is according to the opinion of Rabbi Meir, who said second tithe is property belonging to the Most High. The one who says that the money does not assume the status of a peace offering holds in according to the opinion of Rabbi Meir, and one may not designate property of the Most High for another purpose. And the one who says that the money assumes the status of a peace offering holds that since second tithe is called a peace offering, as an animal purchased with second tithe money without specification is bought as a peace offering, when he designates the money for a peace offering, it is as well is designated with the sanctity of a peace offering. The Gemara raised an objection to the statement of Rabbi Elazar from a Braita. In a case involving one who designates second tithe money for a peace offering, the sanctity of a peace offering is applied to this money in addition to the sanctity of a second tithe. Therefore, when he redeems this money, he adds to it 2/5, 1/5 for the redemption of the sacrificial sanctity of a peace offering, and 1/5 for the redemption of a second tithe. Evidently, the sanctity of a peace offering does not take effect on the second tithe money. The Gemara responds, you maintain this price is agreed upon by everyone. Contrary to whose opinion is this? It is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda, who holds the second tithe money is non-sacred property. Accordingly, the sanctity of a peace offering takes effect on the money. Rabbi Elazar holds in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Meir. Where is it derived with regard to one who says, is it common upon me to bring a thanks offering, that he may bring it only from non-sacred money? It is derived from the verse, as the verse states, and you shall sacrifice the paschal offering to the Lord your God of the flock and the herd, in Deuteronomy 16:2. The verse is difficult. Doesn't the paschal offering come from only lambs and goats? If so, why does the verse state the flock and the herd? It is to juxtapose all offerings that come from the flock and from the herd to the paschal offering. See that just the paschal offering is a matter of obligation and comes from non-sacred money, so too any matter of obligation comes only from non-sacred money. Therefore, in the case of one who says it's coming upon me to bring a thanks offering, or it's coming upon me to bring a peace offering, since these offerings come as an obligation due to its vow, they may be bought only from non-sacred money, and libations in any case may be bought only from non-sacred money. What's the footnote? Libations may be brought only from non-sacred money, and not from teruma, second tithe, or first fruits. Second money or first fruits. This applies even to libation and thanks offerings. Even though the loaves may be bought from second tithe money, but I'm saying for the vote, 2:13, and not from second tithe money, because second tithe money must be used to purchase items eaten by people, while libations are poured out next to the altar. The Gemara, the Mishnah teaches that the halacha that any matter of obligation must be bought from non-sacred property is derived from the halacha of the Paschal offering. The Gemara asks, and concerning the Paschal offering itself, from where do we derive that it is bought only from non-sacred property? As it taught in the Bible, Rabbi Elazar says, Paschal offering is stated in the Torah with regard to the offering sacrifice in Egypt, and the Paschal offering is stated with regard to the yearly obligation throughout the generations. For just as the Paschal offering stated with regard to Egypt was bought only from non-sacred property, as there was no second tithe in Egypt, so too the Paschal offering stated with regard to the obligation that the generation may be bought only from non-sacred property. Rabbi Akiva said to him, but does one derive the possible from the impossible? Does one derive the halacha with regard to the Paschal offering of the generations, when there exists the possibility of using second tithe money, from the halacha with regard to the Paschal offering sacrifice in Egypt, where there is no second tithe? Rabbi Elazar said to him, even though it was impossible to bring the Paschal offering in Egypt from consecrated money, it is a great proof, and we shall derive this halacha from it. Rabbi Akiva then presented a different logical derivation to reject the proof of Rabbi Elazar. One cannot derive the halacha with regard to the Paschal offering of the generation from that of the Paschal offering in Egypt. Because what is notable about the Paschal offering sacrifice in Egypt is notable that it does not require the placement of blood on the altar, nor the sacrificial portions to be consumed by the altar. Thank you for listening. And may your learning be sweet and your connection to the divine be ever stronger. Take care and all the best. Bye.